Thank you. I think the August Exchequer returns demonstrated very clearly the huge public expenditure that has been necessarily entailed due to the pandemic. There were much needed and very welcome supports, additional supports for the health sector, for social protection and also for business supports. And like previous speakers, I want to see those supports continued. They're necessary to support public health, they're necessary to support people who have lost their income, and they're also necessary to support business through a very uncertain time. Could I also say that over the last few weeks in particular, nervousness has increased again among business community, among sectors that had maybe closed down or partially closed down, people who had hoped to reopen, to scale up their businesses again. So I think our statutory agencies and the Department of Business must be very conscious of the concerns out there among the business community, and those supports need to continue. Could I just say the substantial additional expenditure for education was very welcome as well, in ensuring that the million children and young adults got back to education at preschool, at primary, post-primary, further education and third level, and we hope to see that continue. Could I also say that the July job stimulus package was necessary. It was impactful in a number of areas, and you take the whole area of housing, additional activity, substantial funding for the Voids programme as well, which is necessary to ensure that houses that are lying vacant, that are council housing stock, are brought back to habitable use. Could I also say that Minister Michael McGrath has spoken about the budget 2021 will be set in the context of COVID-19 and Brexit. And we know and he outlined the necessity, as all of us in this House want to see, services protected and also services improved where possible. Cahill, I should have 13 minutes and it didn't start at that. Will you rectify? Fine, thank you, because I'm conscious. Could I also say, Minister McGrath also spoke about the National Recovery Fund, and he spoke about the National Recovery Plan. I have to say the government must ensure that in those measures, in those plans, that there's a clear emphasis on the need for regional balance. And I think the pandemic has shown one thing is, and my colleague Deputy Derek Cleary referred to it earlier, it shows and it demonstrates that services don't have to be provided from our capital city or from our major urban conurbation centres. Some of the key services for the public were delivered from people living in very remote areas. There again, and it's an issue I've discussed with Minister Ryan, the urgent need to ensure that our broadband infrastructure is rolled out as rapidly as possible, because we know of the inadequate broadband in so many communities has made it extremely difficult for people to work from home or students to learn at home. So the phrase blended learning will be difficult for some students who are living in areas where the broadband infrastructure is not up to the standard that we need.